Hello and welcome to another Starcraft 2 beta commentary. I am your host Witty and I am bringing you this 1v1 game on the Platinum ladder. It's a 1v1 between Hayley as the Red Zerg and his enemy as ZeeRaX. The map is a Lost Temple and here we can see both players are cross map. So Hayley is sending off his Overlord to scout and he notices the probe has also gone that way, so they both must come to the conclusion after that, realizing that they have to be cross-map. Here we can see ZeeRaX is just spazzing about in this spot. The reason why that is because he wants to stop Hayley from getting an early expand. Let's find out what happens when Hayley tries to expand, if he does. Have a quick look at the Protoss base before that. Simulator and a gateway. Here we can see Hayley cannot put down an expand because the probe is sitting here. This is a very handy thing to do if you're a Protoss player. You just let your shield go down to 0, and then once that's hit 0 you just sort of dance about and try and distract Hayley, your enemy, as much as you can. And when you need to flee, that's a very good move to do as well. Is put down a pylon. That's going to slow it down, because after a while you won't be able to hold off 2 drones, and if you do keep on holding off 2 drones, then you're only going to hurt your own macro, because you're going to be focusing so much on that probe. You know, click, 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 click. You're going to be focused so much on that, you're going to be doing nothing in the back of your base, so you're only going to be hurting your own play here. So you really need to just shove down a pylon like he did there. Very good use there, and that way you can go back to your base, get that cybernetics core down when the gateway is done, and keep your macro on top form. Here we can see the probe is still alive. He's only got one little Zergling chasing after him, whilst the rest of the Zerglings are not going to be distracted by that one probe, and they're going to be going straight for ZeeRaX's main. Will they be able to get in? Not likely with this Zealot sitting comfortably here. This is a nice move, but I don't know if he can get that Zealot back and forth. It looks like he can, but I don't think he'll be able to get any units bigger than a Zealot back and forth, such as the Stalker. He's actually chrono boosted this gateway, which is a very good move, because that Overlord is now sitting away, and he's trying to get away, but he's not going to be able to get away because that was a good move. If he did not chrono boost this gateway, it's very unlikely he'll be able to bring down this Overlord. But because he did, he can get the Stalker out quickly and wail on the Overlord. Look at this. Yes, one last hit. I don't think he would have been able to get one more hit out of that, so that was very nice for ZeeRaX there. Very, very handy. That's now put Hayley behind on his population. He's now going to have to get himself another Overlord, which is going to cost him another 100 minerals and slow down his build. So it's all good for the Protoss player so far. Robotics facility is being put down, as well as another gateway, and he's also got a forge for the cannon that we can see here. Pylons are going down all over the shop. Immortal will be out soon, so this will be interesting to see where he's going to be going with this. We can see an Overlord that can see over here, be able to scout any expansions that ZeeRaX might attempt. We've got 2 queens, 1 queen at Hayley's expansion and 1 queen at his main. This is obviously to keep up the lava production. So as soon as 40 seconds are up, how long is that? Let's have a look. In 40 seconds you get 4 extra lava, so by that point you would have got like an extra 25 energy to spawn lava again, basically. At least 25 energy. So he's going to be able to pump out a lot of drones or whatever units it is he wants to get out with all these extra lava. Let's see what he's going for. Nothing so far. They're just sitting there, lazing around. This gorgeous sun weather. Look at this. It's rather sunny here in Lost Temple today. At least when you look at the Selnaga town. Oh wow. Zerglings are having a little sunbathing session by the look of it. They're not doing much. One's going to get on with work though, and crack on and see if there's an expansion going down. He could just bring the Overlord a bit closer if he really wanted to, but why not bring the Zergling as well? Because he could just have a little look in the base, see what he can see. He might have been able to spot that warp prism. I'm not sure if he did, but that would be interesting to see if Hayley did actually see that warp prism. He certainly does see it now though with this Zergling. The warp prism has currently got 2 immortals inside of it, so obviously we're going to see a bit of a harass going down. He's leaving, Hayley's bringing up his Zergling just to keep up with that warp prism, just to see where it is going, and it's pretty obvious it's going to be going to his main. So let's have a look at this. That's interesting. I'd like to see how this turns out, especially when those little Zerglings have just popped out. That's bad timing for Hayley, ZeeRaX, sorry. 2 Immortals are down. He's turned the Warp Prism into phase mode, which allows him to teleport extra units in. So this is really, really good. The Warp Prism has gone down, but he's managed to get 3 extra sentries into Hayley's base. And the 2 Immortals are also still alive. So this is really, really good for ZeeRaX right now. He's used a force field to stop any little drones from getting in, try and bring down those sentries. They've now finally managed to come in. But it doesn't matter too much, because ZeeRaX's job has been done. Look at this. He's done what he intended to do. He knows he's going to lose his units. Muters are coming straight out of there. No chance for the Immortals. But he brought down that Spire, which stops any more Muters being made for the moment. It's going to take at least another 100 seconds for Hayley to get Muters. And that's if he does put down a Spire straight away. He's also lost a lot of drones. So ZeeRaX is now ahead in terms of probes versus drones, which is really good for ZeeRaX. See a lot of he's actually destroying his warp gate. The reason why this is because he wants to get stalkers out. He wants to be able to get out of his base quite comfortably, not just purely rely upon building warp prisms to teleport and you know, move his units in and out of his main. So I can understand that. Gateways aren't too expensive once the game hits midpoint. 150 minerals, you can afford that, to be honest. It's worth destroying that gateway just to get out. It's an interesting build he did. It pretty much guarantees that Zerglings are not going to get into your base, but it does mean that you have to lose 150 minerals later on in the game to destroy the gateway. So it depends how you weigh it up, whether it's worth it. I mean, it may well be worth it. I don't know. I haven't tried it enough times to really tell you whether it's worth it. Otherwise, you leave a little gap and sell it there and hope that the Zerglings don't manage to get through. But if they do, that could well cost you more than 150 minerals for the gateway in the first place. So that's something I'll have to test. Here we can see a little Zergling just sitting here. I believe if we switch to Hayley here, he has in fact scouted a little bit. So we can see where he's been. So he's pretty sure that ZeeRaX has not got any other expands apart from this main one, which you can see with his overlord here. As for ZeeRaX, he's also scouted. As we can see, his paths are lighter. This is where you can see where they've been, so you can see he's been here, but he hasn't been this far. And on his screen, as far as he knows, there's only one expand for Hayley. So, let's have a look. We've got lots of little Zerglings going down. Overlords are now generating creep, which is something you can do once you hit a lair. You get a lair in your main. What are these turning into? Just more drones at the moment, so looks like Hayley's wanting to get himself a lot more drones and a lot more economy whilst he can try and keep up the harass with these Muters. But he's not going to be able to get too far with all these cannons getting put down. This is very nice for ZeeRaX. He's sitting good here. So far so good for the Protoss player. All we can see here is just 7 Muters. They're going to come round here by the looks of it. Oh, those cannons are almost up. It doesn't look like he's going to be able to get them up in time. His ground army that can counter the Muters are so slow. They're not going to get there in time. Bye-bye 300 minerals, basically. He probably cancelled the last photon cannon, but didn't get many minerals back for it, so that was a good move by Hayley there, just costing ZeeRaX minerals, really. Just draining his economy whilst he builds up his own one. Makes sense, doesn't it? Yes, it does. So, the question is what is Hayley aiming to get? Here we see an Overseer coming out of the Overlord, so that costs 50 minerals and 100 Thespian gas. The Overseer can see invisible units, and he's also getting Hydralisks. For what purpose, I am not sure yet. Let's see. We see a lot of sentries. Hydralisks are pretty good, to be honest. Good all-round units. You can't go too far wrong with them, so there's not really a problem with making Hydralisks.